Eddsworld. What exactly is Eddsworld? Well, if you clicked on this video, you most likely already know. Eddsworld is a British show that stars 3 roommates, Ed, Matt, and Tom. In earlier episodes, there was a 4th man in this group known as Tord. The show is about the shenanigans these men would get into, commonly involving monsters, zombies, and more. However, I'm not here to talk about the history of Eddsworld, but the fandom. The fandom is massive, one of the biggest fandoms I've seen for something as silly as this British show. The fandom, while it has its weirder sides, is mostly very welcoming and safe if you ignore the past drama. This fandom is also one of the more creative fandoms, consisting of thousands of original creations all around the internet on every corner. These all consist of either random, wholesome, angsty, and suggestive content, whatever fits your personal tastes. However, there's one creation, a fanfic, one that will haunt you as you read, leave you on the edge of your seat with every word your eyes spell out, and make your stomach drop with every single thing that happens to any and every character, whether well-known or original. This, my viewers, is DOOMSWORLD. You may recognize the name and some other things from my previous video talking about the Eddsworld re-uploads. Reason being, this is one of the 3 spin-offs for DOOMSWORLD, showing some major events of the story through an analog horror-esque format by editing the original episodes. As I'm saying this, there are only 2 re-uploads up on the newer channel since the other one that I covered got deleted due to, well, having exact re-uploads of the episodes. Anyway, I'll talk about the other 2 spin-offs here in a bit. For now, let's get into the history of DOOMSWORLD. When DOOMSWORLD was first created, it was actually called Eddsworld.exe. The story was quite different, and so were the character designs. Tord, for example, was just pale with black hair, eyes, and clothes. Looking back, you can really tell it was made by a young and edgy child. As well as this, Eddsworld.exe was a fanfic on Wattpad. There is actually an archive of it still up on the creator's account. It has 7 chapters, one being an update chapter, and for the sake of saving all time, I read it. And oh boy, it was fun. I ended up giving up on reading it during, the middle of it because I really couldn't tell what was going on. All I could gather is that this girl named Emily had a crush on Tord, got rejected, stabbed a random person out of anger, went to prison, came back and took Tord's soul, and Tord went insane? I have no fucking clue, I'm gonna be honest. But Eddsworld.exe is a big example of what a glow-up truly is. Anyway, sometime in 2019, the title, Eddsworld.exe, would be changed to DOOMSWORLD, I think. For some reason on Instagram, the name change appears much, much later, and so do the designs and overall quality. During this, however, a spin-off for DOOMSWORLD would be in the making called Sad Soldier. It would star the Red Army soldiers during the whole DOOMSWORLD stuff? I'm still confused on what the previous stuff was. The main characters for this show would include Paul, Patrick, and a few other newer original characters, these being Carl, Jerry, Lucas, and Harold. However, Paul and Pat were the main focuses of the spin-off. I couldn't really find much about the more original characters on both YouTube and Instagram, or really much at all, considering as of now they barely get much attention. For now. The only episode up on the channel is the first episode, and oh my god. There's some improvement, obviously, but good fucking lord, it's laughably bad in the best way possible. I love it so much. I highly recommend checking it out on the creator's YouTube channel. The episode is getting a revamp soon, and I am so fucking excited for it. Anyway. And then, finally, on December 1st of 2023, the remake of DOOMSWORLD would be officially released on AO3, Wattpad, and Quotive. What the fuck is Quotive? Now, just for some extra context, I'm going to describe the background for this AU. The main 2 focuses on this AU are this hourglass that holds 3 demons that fucking hate humans, and this area that mimics the Golden Legacy era known as Nowhere. Nowhere being the place that everyone who has died resides. If you die, you have a big chance of turning into either a hollow demon or a husk. There's also zombies and ghosts, but those aren't focused on in this AU, at all. Now, I'm going to give a brief explanation for each and every chapter currently out as I'm writing the script for this video, as it's still being updated to this day. This will spoil the entire fanfic while also keeping it as vague as possible, so if you want to read it for yourself and come back, I highly recommend doing so. I just drank an entire thing of coffee. I chugged the rest of it. Oh my god. Okay, so chapter 1. We're introduced to one of the many original characters for this AU named Henry. He's a boring and dumb character, and that's why I love him dearly. He decides to go on a walk to enjoy his day before he comes across a path he's never seen before and walks down it. He comes across a door and sees that it opens to a basement. He walks in and finds his hourglass on a stand. He grabs it, which causes him to hallucinate and drop it, breaking it like the dumbass he is. He runs away in fear, only to watch the events of the end unfold, and then it starts raining. The rain is super important. Chapter 2, the longest chapter in the fanfic. Tord didn't survive the explosion that Tom caused. He wakes up to find 3 shadowy figures looming over him. Orion, Reinber, and what the fuck are these names? Orion, Reinber, and Dario. The 3 offer to let Tord come back to life as if nothing happened. After some urging and breakdowns, Tord accepts. This was a bad idea. He wakes up to Paul and Patrick carrying him, while they're confused on how his scars just disappeared. Once they go home, Tord passes out and has a dream of Ed clocking Tord's shit like he deserves. We're then introduced to 4 extremely important original characters. First is Lucas, who's using the Army's camera to record a Logan Paul vlog. Then Harold is shown looking emo. Jerry takes the camera away from Lucas, and Carl comes over to calm Jerry down since they're a gay couple canonically. I've been hyper-fixated on them for over 3 months! This isn't fucking funny! Paul and Patrick then come in as the literal I know what you are meme towards Carl and Jerry. They call Paul and Pat a gay couple, Aries Paul confirmed, then Harold ruins a pride parade by asking about Tord. Carl offers to check on him. Carl goes to check on Tord, and Tord immediately demands meat for him to eat. Carl pulls out his pants and... Wait, no. Carl leaves... That was fucking stupid, I hate myself. Carl leaves and then comes back with some steak for Tord, who immediately devours it and demands for more. Later on, Tord ends up escaping the base to go outside and eat a dead rat on the side of the road. I'm not joking, he actually does that. Harold finds him and takes him back to base, and then he immediately escapes again, which pisses Jerry off. Chapter 3, woo! Carl, Jerry, and Lucas are out trying to find Tord, but they're unsuccessful. Carl and Jerry have an unbelievably gay moment and might as well be having gay sex before Jerry realizes that Carl is drunk and has to carry him home since he passed out like the idiot he is. Lucas gives up on trying to find Tord since he was ordered to look in a dumpster and walks away. Tord was hiding in that dumpster. Who fucking knew? Tord crawls out, finds Tom, and we have our first actual death. Tord slits Tom's throat open and then throws his corpse into the same dumpster. Chapter 4. Matt is depressed. Lights go out in the apartment he and Ned live in, and the 2 survivors decide to go out looking for Tom since he hasn't come home yet. They end up getting into an argument which makes them split up. Matt finds Tom's corpse and runs away. Matt becomes even more depressed. Ed goes to check on Matt, walks into his apartment, and ends up finding out that Matt had committed suicide, hanging himself in his own room. Chapter 5. Ed screams and cries over Matt's death. Tord breaks in somehow and finds Ed. Ed stabs him to death. Tord comes back to life and then stabs Ed to death and actually kills him. So that's what's currently out for DOOMSWORLD itself. However, there is one other spin-off I haven't covered yet. There's this TikTok account that's dedicated to making DOOMSWORLD into an Infection AU type of series. It's a very short and simple watch, so I highly recommend going to watch it. Sadly, since I've already covered most of it, if not everything about DOOMSWORLD, I think this is where the video will have to end. But before it does, I want to remind you all to support the creator on all of their platforms and join their Discord server if you're more interested and want to see some extra or bonus stuff about DOOMSWORLD, or even updates about it, or even if you're curious about their other projects. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.